But here, on the very rim of known space, justice is a long way away.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Jacksonville Marriott Orbital Hotel and Business Complex podcast. No, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. It's the Space Game Junkie podcast. That's a joke from this morning's stream, which we can explain later if you want. Welcome to the Space Game Junkie podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian, and joining me, as always, is your co-host, Spaz.
Coming to you live from the Flamingo Room.
Your co-host, Thorsten.
I'm in the champagne room.
There's no breakfast there. I'm telling you, there's no breakfast there. Your co-host, Julie. I'm going out of order. Sorry. Your co-host, Julie.
Just enjoying life on the rim of known space.
I wish. And your co-host, David. David? Oh.
Living on the edge.
Jacob can't join us today because life. University has him very busy, so he joins us when he can, but I totally get when he can't. You know, I mean, those of us who went to college remember how busy it can be. So I think did we all go to college? Did everyone here go to college or university?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like an eternal student. I realized if I ever quit going, I wouldn't get through the graduate degrees.
Oh, no. Thorsten and David, did you guys go to college?
Oh, sorry.
I'm probably the only one not.
Oh, okay. What was that, David?
No college here.
Oh, okay. I mean, you don't have to. We're not judging. But if you've not been to university, let me just say it can get very hectic. And Jacob had to retake a few things. So, yeah, very hectic for him. So we wish him the best. We hope he gets through everything. Everyone send positive vibes to Jacob. So, friends, we were going to talk about a game today. I won't mention which game, but when we tried to play said game, we realized it wasn't ready. We realized it was actually, and I hate to say this, it was legitimately, that's a hard word to say, legitimately making me angry. So in talking to the dev, we decided to postpone our podcast episode for that game until it's more new player friendly, more approachable, something like that, you know, because all of us who've tried to play it, we all had problems with it. All of us.
Yup.
And it looks like it's going to be a great game once it gets its ducks in a row. But right now, its ducks are not in a row. So Spaz came up with the...
And we didn't feel right. We didn't feel right showcasing a game that we felt is not quite yet ready.
Yeah.
And we don't want a bad first impression to be garnered from the audience for this podcast.
Yeah.
Because that's not what it deserves. It deserves better than that. So
yeah. It's trying to be
we'll have them back on.
It's trying to be something great. I think it will be something great. The developer is awesome, but it's just so early, and we thought that if we did showcase it, it wouldn't be in the most positive light. So, and we never want to do that. So Spaz came up with the idea of doing a check-in, and we have not done one of these in a while. I did a few when I was trying to do this full time. I think we've done 1 or 2 podcasts where we've done this. But yeah, we haven't really checked in with ourselves or the audience in a while to see how everyone's doing. There's a lot going on in the world right now. Quite a bit going on in the world. As of right now today, the Oregon of America, Florida, is getting hit with a massive hurricane. A hurricane so big it knocked out and power to the entirety of Cuba yesterday. So they're getting hit with that today. Category, I think it's become a category 5 at this point. Hurricane Ian, if we want to date things. So yeah, a lot. I mean, that's just today. There's also a war going on, at least 2 pandemics. There's a lot going on right now. And so I think it's good for everyone's mental health, and Spaz was right in suggesting this check-in, that we all check in with everyone every now and again to see how everyone's doing, to vent, to commiserate, to support each other. Because that's what I always try and say at the end of every stream: support each other, be there for each other. Because there's a severe lack of empathy in this world right now. And if we're more empathetic and supportive of each other, it'll lead, I think, to a better, happier world. But we have so many people out.
Hi.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Jacob.
Hello.
Right. The encouragement worked. I apparently got everything banged out in time, and
Hey!
I'm here.
Great!
Welcome.
That's great. Your co-host Jacob, everyone. Glad to hear you
Wait,
got.
streaming?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay, so with
Huh?
oh, I see. We're live on things that aren't Twitch.
Are we not on Twitch?
Oh no.
What?
Nope, Twitch is offline.
What? Oh, come on. What? Wait a minute. Because we should be live on everything.
Why I was
Yeah, YouTube is
confused
live.
because- yeah, YouTube is live, but it's why I was confused because I saw that the thing was up, saw you talking, and then like I opened Twitch and nothing's there.
No.
Purple icon, no anything.
Oh man, no, we should be live on Twitch. I don't know why we aren't. Oh no. That is eminently frustrating.
Welcome to the Scuff Game Junkie podcast.
Yeah, no, so yeah, and we get most of our viewers from Twitch, so that's a good time. So I guess everyone will catch up on this later.
For the interface. Yeah, well,
Let me see if I can go on the thing and anyway. So yeah, we Spaz had the idea after noping out on this game that the game that clearly isn't ready. That
it's a weird thing that it tends to happen a lot. Well, not a lot. It's happened twice, which is odd.
it doesn't happen very often. Most of the time, we get a game that we feel we're excited about, that we feel is ready to talk about, that we feel is ready to showcase. And every now and again, we get a game that's like, this is not ready. Hang on one second.
And it's just the game itself is not ready. It's not that we are disliking the concept or the vision for where it's going.
There isn't enough to discuss. There isn't enough of a game yet to meaningfully make a good podcast out of.
And I think if we did discuss it, it wouldn't be very positively, because I was, like I said earlier, like I was getting angry at the thing.
Well, it's a shame because it's just the exact kind of game I really want to play. It's right up my alley. It's like, it's a kind of thing I said, why doesn't somebody do this? And then somebody comes up with the concept.
I was about to say that.
Yes.
Yeah, we are in love with the concept.
To recap.
What is something's going on with Twitch. I'm looking at Twitch. Something's going on with Twitch. Anyway,
I was gonna ask is what game we were talking about.
We're not mentioning
we don't want to
the game
say it. We don't want to say it
because it's
we don't want to say it
not
live.
mention the game that would have been today's podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to say it
Can
live.
figure it out because we talked about it last week. But yeah, fair enough. Professional.
Yes.
Which is away.
Twitch is having a fit. I'm not sure what's going on. It must be a restream issue. It must be, because we're going to YouTube and every place else. So it must be a Twitch thing. Twitch is twitching, as some people say.
Okay, according to Down Detector, there are issues at Twitch right now.
Oh,
so
great timing.
That would explain it. Yeah.
Lovely.
Well, I'm honestly glad I don't try and solely do Twitch anymore. Oh my god, I'm so glad.
Yeah, you did attempt to for a short while. We even had the like snazzy icons and everything. I really liked them. Kind of missed them, but it's better to have versatility, especially when stuff like this happens.
Yeah, and Twitch as a company, not so great. So
the thing is, them or Google, it's debatable which one is worse. But
I mean, there's no competition for Twitch. I stream to other places, but there is, when people think game streaming, they think Twitch.
Yeah, they think Twitch.tv.
Like when I told people I was leaving YouTube streaming to go to Twitch solely, they're like, YouTube has streaming? Like people didn't actually know YouTube has streaming.
Yeah.
And there are some people who stream to YouTube exclusively, interestingly enough.
Plenty. Actually, I know plenty.
Yeah. So Spaz, because we didn't feel ready to play the game, Spaz came up with the idea of doing a check-in. We haven't done one of these in a while. There was a network error. Ooh, fun. We haven't done one of these in a while. So instead of like forcing everyone to talk, I just thought I would ask how. We'll start with the co-host here at least. And if audience, if you want to chime in and say how you're doing, please do so in the chat room.
We do not shy away from audience engagement.
No. If you want to vent about something or tell us something great that happened to you lately, please do so. So, my lovely co-hosts, I'll start with you though. Does anyone have anything they want to get off their chest, talk about, vent about, rave about?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
As I think the oldest member of the podcast, not the longest on it long, but the oldest actually. First off, you know you're getting old when someone sits in the line in front of you getting coffee, two students, says they're talking about old lady purses. They turn around to you and say, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh no! Oh no!
Now that one goes back a ways, but this is why I now have a purse that looks like it's Australian military surplus. It's not. It's brand new. It's made by an Australian company. But as of this week, you know you're getting older when you fall and it elicits gasps of shock. And I'm out walking my dog, and there's this woman in the neighborhood. This has nothing to do with gaming, but you said something I wanted to get.
It doesn't have to do anything with gaming. This is a check-in.
And there's this woman who walks her two little tiny dogs. I forget. Oh, thank you. Lopsos. They're tiny things. And she walks them in a twin stroller made for baby dolls. Now, the thing is, yes, she can say legitimately the dog is on the leash, but nobody's on the idiot end of the leash. And I'm out walking my dog, mind you, on my own property. And this little tiny dog comes barking and tearing across the street like it was shot out of a gun.
Oh, no.
Now, mind you, there was a person turning at the time, and it is only fate that the dog did this late enough to not get run down by the car. Comes tearing after me, and more importantly, my little puppy, and I was stupid enough to try and stop the dog.
Oh.
I try and step on the idiot end of the leash and whoosh, pulls my leg right out from under me and I face plant on the concrete. Now, it could have been worse. I just damaged some muscles. It could have been a lot worse.
Oh God, oof.
But still, then afterwards, she comes up with this other same little dog. Are you okay? Can I call an ambulance? I said, no, please, take the little dog and go. Oh, no. I said, I'm fine. Take the little dog and go. So because my dog is... And the other thing that I wanted to get off my chest is government forms. And we have... and that is...
Oh, that's always a fun one.
That is there's my old NCOIC in the military, and everybody, this is a common expression, used to say, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And somebody decided, I won't get into what it was for, but it is a case of somebody decided, hey, this isn't broke, so let's fix it. And so they redid the form and fix it so that it can't be used for the purpose for which it was meant. It could have worked if they had bothered to do a Word version. So I spent yesterday afternoon screaming at my computer, and I finally said, to hell with this. I'm going to do my own version of the form. And I did. So, wow, pat in the back. Yay, me. And also, I want to finish off with something a friend of mine told me recently. You know you're getting old when someone says, yes, I got lucky, and it's you went into a room and remembered what it was for.
Oh, God.
So, there you go.
I am having that problem more and more. I walk into another part of the apartment. I'm like, why am I here? And then I'll walk back to remind myself why I left the other room. Like, oh, yeah.
Holy shit, Brian, that's worse than my issue.
What is that?
I mean, I at least still remember why I entered another room.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in our rooms. So, like, sometimes I have ADHD, so I'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember when I played Gunship 2000. That was great. Why did I walk in here?
Do not watch Doctor Who.
Oh, I do watch Doctor Who. It's great. Most of it, anyway.
Oh, boy.
I haven't watched much of the most recent Doctor because the writing hasn't been
right. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's an entire like creature based purely on that idea.
Oh,
like forgetting where you are.
Oh, right.
The silence where when you look away, it's you can't forget it. Sorry. When you look away from it, you forgot it was there.
Was that the 11th Doctor? Was that Matt Smith?
They've been a recurring thing.
Oh, really?
At which point they started. Yeah, they're a recurring thing.
Yeah, I remember the Matt Smith episodes.
Yeah, they did a Matt Smith episode with that. Yeah,
that I remember. I don't remember the other, but you know. Anyway, so yeah, so Julie, that was what you wanted to get off your chest?
That was what I wanted to get off my chest. And there's two things that I want to say, wow, that have been really good in the last week. One is I finally got all my favorite mods to work on Skyrim Special Edition, which is a hard thing to do.
How many mods? Come on, how many?
At least 20. So I'm a piker. But, you know, the thing is, the Bethesda Corporation, I thought, sure, the Microsoft bought them out, so they'll fix everything that's wrong, right?
Ha!
And so
what
they have this little thing where they want to sell you mods, right? And so they said, oh, there's this little problem, right, with it. So we're going to do a little patch. And so they broke half the mods in the game. And so they said, oh, wait, let us fix that for you. And then they broke all the mods in the game. And here's the good thing. God bless the soul that did this and does this. I found someone that said, hey, I'm going to keep this up to date. And every time they do a new patch, you can roll it back 3 versions. I said, oh, God bless you. Everything works again. And that was the best. And the other thing is I had been watching this. I used to be on a Warhammer podcast. It's now Warhammer Podcast anymore. And but I've just been watching somebody do the Warhammer 40K stuff, and I said, does this ever look fun? And I logged on to Steam the other day, and it just said somebody kept sending me all these Warhammer 40Ks. And I won't say who it is unless they want to say, but wow, big thanks and lots of kudos.
You're welcome. Have you started playing it yet?
That is one of my tasks for the day to do.
Great.
The Inquisitor.
Well, I guess we know who that is.
Yes,
yeah, no.
we do.
I said to Julie I would gift her a copy of Warhammer Inquisitor once it went on sale again. And it went on sale again.
It is really good, so good.
I have been busy rewriting because my beta readers are starting to harass me for it. I have to rewrite the first draft of my first book.
All right, you have a book.
Yes, I do. I do have it has a working title, but it's not the final title yet, and I have an editor and I have a publisher. So one day it will actually be out, but one of my beta readers, why haven't I got this? Why haven't I got this? I said, because it involves several rewrites. So what do you mean? Well, first I have to rewrite it after I've written the first draft, because it's changed a lot. Then I give it to you, then I rewrite it. Then I give it to my editor who reviews it, and then I rewrite it. And then I give it to the publisher.
That's a hell of a. Yeah, sounds like a lot of work.
Well, but think about this: when you retire, and I'm getting close to retirement age, people don't think, "What are you going to do with your time?" You know, Fran's dad ended up weeding the lawn at night with a flashlight. So, the people I do have talked to have retired. They said, "Well, you got to have a plan." But in the meantime, I've got a sweetheart dream job, and I'm working at home. What do I want to retire for?
Yeah, I'm with you. I have a great flexible at-home job. Like, I don't, need to retire anytime soon. I'm still putting away for it, but yeah. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to get off their chests? Who's next?
Someone else, please. I have too much.
It's okay if you want to go.
Let her rip.
Yeah.
Sorry. Right. So, God, where do I start? Right. So, university has been an absolute nightmare because, of course, it has been. The main reason for it is a combination of me not knowing how the hell to organize my time, and also in one part, and the other part being administrative nightmares. I've received my schedule for next year. It's kind of a mess, except because I failed several courses. I don't actually know if I'm eligible for the next year of university. Something that I have to find out in the next 3 days. And the dean's office is not answering my calls.
Oh, God.
So that's fun.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Hang on to Jacob.
Damn, I mean, that reminds me of the time I almost didn't graduate high school.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I did. I made it. So hopefully you will too. But I know that stress. I know that.
It is university, and I have gotten booted out of a course already once. I'm not in a huge rush if I can at least avoid it. Now, of course, I prefer not to spend more time necessary, but still.
Well, that's fair.
Me messing up is not quite ruining my entire life, which is good.
That's good that you're not letting it affect other parts of your life. That's good.
Well, I can identify because when I was in grad school, a C average was considered failing.
Yeah.
Boy.
I took one semester of grad school and totally flunked out.
I took a course in advanced statistics, and the instructor said, this is in the military. So I went to school full-time, and I worked full-time. And at the end of the course, the instructor says, okay, you can't leave post. He was afraid probably we'd go to the University of Seoul, and I would have. He said, you can work with anybody you want. Come back in 8 hours with the test done. I needed every minute of the 8 hours, so I can really understand the stress.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. College is a different type of stress than post-college.
It's kind of a... And I still have consulting for a job. Hear me? All right. Hold on. Have I still not unshagged my audio? I still have not unshagged my audio. That'll do it.
What's going on?
Ahem. Hi.
Hey.
Oh.
Whoa.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, you could hear me now.
Well, we can kind of hear you before. What, were you using a different mic, or what happened?
No, I just had my mic volume decided it was going to be 28 now instead of 80.
Did you update Windows, or did it just do that?
No, it just does that.
Windows audio, man. I swear to God, it is such a goddamn nightmare. You'd think they'd get...
I need to figure out if I can get this sorted out permanently. Point being, I had something clever I want to say, and I forgot. Of course. Right. Good things that have happened.
Okay. Want to hear those two? Want to hear those two?
Because, so, a couple things have happened. I'm apparently becoming far more sociable.
Good.
Finding a lot more people that are willing to just spend time with me and don't detest me as a human being, which, I mean, I wouldn't blame them, but I'm not going to complain if they like me.
Stop it.
Oh, you're a great person. I tell you what, if you ever come to the States, you're officially invited to weekend movie night anytime you're here.
See, that's the thing. I have actually been thinking of going to the States. There's a slight problem, though. Where?
Okay, I just solved your problem. This weekend, we're doing movie night over Zoom. You're officially invited. It's my turn to choose, so I can choose whatever movie I want. So if you don't mind hanging out with 4 fairly old broads, you're welcome to it, and I really will send you an invite.
I have a great...
this weekend, I will be dealing with you. Continuing to deal with uni bullshit, so probably not, but I do strongly appreciate the invite.
I have a great recommendation for your movie.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Amazon Women on the Moon.
That sounds
not
like
familiar.
That sounds like a keeper. I've never seen it. I've seen the advertisement.
It's a parody of late 80s late night television. So
that sounds
amazing.
Hilarious.
It's amazing. It's utterly amazing.
Like, on a scale of 1 to like Kung Fury, how good are we talking?
Oh God. Because, I mean, there's so many great bits in there. And I mean, I'll tell you there's one bit. I'll tell you one bit, and I'll let you... It's basically a string of vignettes as commercials, and they also show a quote-unquote movie called Amazon Women on the Moon.
I see.
And one of the commercials is for a singer played by... oh, God, what's his name? Isn't it? I forget the actor's name, but they call him Don No Soul Simmons. And he's a black guy, but he sings...
that David Allen Greer?
David Allen Greer, yes, thank you.
Yes.
He's a black guy who sings the whitest music you could possibly imagine. And it is the funniest goddamn thing.
Now, the words "the whitest music you can imagine" mean less to me since I'm not American, but I imagine the hilarity.
Tie yellow ribbon around the old oak tree.
I see. It's like, are we talking like freaking, what's it called?
Yeah.
I don't know. I associate that with like girls named Rebecca and stuff like that.
Yeah. I met a girl in El Paso, that kind of nonsense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm following.
Yeah. So that's just one of the many. One of my favorite bits is a bit called Video Pirates. And it's like an actual swashbuckling movie about pirates who steal videos from like a British ship.
That sounds awesome.
It's amazing. The movie is amazing. I don't know if it holds up because
please.
I don't know if it holds up because it's of a specific time. And so I don't know if it holds up.
Very much a product of its time.
Yeah, very much a product of its time. But man, that movie is great. Don't watch go ahead.
It sounds like one of these movies that's so bad it's good.
It's not bad.
It's not?
No.
See, one of my friends, her favorite movie that's like that is called Reptilicus.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
And I didn't know there was actually a scene that was deleted from Reptilicus. I said, how can something possibly be too bad for Reptilicus? And then she showed me it's literally a silhouette of Amsterdam against a screen with a cardboard cutout of Reptilicus and somebody moving it up and down on a stick. So it's not that kind of bad. It's actually good from what you're telling me.
Yeah, let me read you some of the cast. Arsenio Hall, Phil Hartman, Michelle Pfeiffer, Griffin Dunn. God, who are some of these other people? David Allen Greer, B.B. King is in there somewhere. Rosanna Arquette, Steve Guttenberg, Harry Silva, who just passed away, R.I.P. Yeah, there's a ton of... Oh, Robert Picardo's in there. Rip Taylor, Henny Youngman, Steve Allen. My God, everyone's in this. Ed Begley Jr.'s in there. Yeah, so That's a great movie night movie. That's a great, like, I can watch. That's a great movie night. Don't take it too seriously. Have some alcohol. Kind of movie. Pebble Garden. We're talking about Amazon Women on the Moon, which came out in what was 87? Yeah, 87. Directed
65% on the tomato meter.
Yeah.
It's very much a product of its time.
Yeah.
So some of it probably has not aged as well.
Yeah, but
the same could be said of a lot of movies of that type, like Kentucky Fried Movie. Some of that has really not aged well.
This one I don't think is as bad as other things. Like Joe Dante,
not say bad, but not aged well.
Yeah, but that's a great movie night movie that you don't have to pay. You don't have to like work too hard. You can have some wine with it. It's great.
I'd watch it just for BB King. He is my blues god.
He's only in it for 1, maybe 2 bits, but those bits are great. Those bits are great. Jacob, did you get everything out that you wanted to get out before we interrupt?
For the most part, like, there's not much else to say besides things are bad, but they're getting better at least.
Hey, that's something. And if you want to come to the States, you have an air mattress right here in Los Angeles. If you need one.
That's the thing. I kind of have like a lot of places I could go to.
Oh god.
And all of them are like completely across the country.
Yeah. And it's a big country. It's a very big country.
Yeah, it says, and I can't exactly afford, like, I am not drowning in cash enough to like be able to like get there and then afford like international flights. I'm not that good.
Right. No, that's fair. It's a massive country, so you got to start with at least one. Like, I would say if you've never been to New York City, start there. Like, that's a really great
fair enough
first place to go, I think, in America. If you've never been here before.
Heard they had okay and bad, great, and okay pizza. That's what I've heard of New York. So I'm guessing that's all of the above.
That's fair. Yeah. You can get, it depends on where you go. Like if you go to a mom and pop place that's known for their pizza, you'll get great pizza. If you go to Domino's, you'll get not so great pizza. But you'll get amazing.
Okay, so glad Domino's is garbage everywhere. They They took over one of my favorite pizza. Oh, okay. Things I'm mad about. This happened like years ago, so this is not new. But Domino's took over like my favorite pizza chain in this country. It was called Dominium. So I guess the naming similarity is why they did it. And ever since they did, not only is their pizza garbage, but also they refuse to deliver to my house for some reason.
Wait, they're called. They were called Dominion?
No, yes. Yes. That's what they used to be called.
Did you upset the founders somehow? And that's why they won't deliver to
There's a non-zero chance I did. I took offense to the merger, so maybe they decided that I'm not going to get pizza from them anymore. Not exactly missing out. The pizza's shit.
Yeah.
You get a box with grease on it. And then a pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
not as bad as Pizza Hut. It's not as bad as Pizza Hut by default.
No.
Which is strange because Pizza Hut in the US at least is better than Domino's typically.
I'm surprised. Like Pizza Hut pizza here is like 98% grease.
No, here it's better. Just the problem is it's harder to find a Pizza Hut than a Domino's here. They've become a much more rare commodity here in the US.
Interesting, because here they're fairly popular. There's one every like couple. They're fairly like they're a sort of mid-tier pizza chain.
They used to be everywhere here, and you could rely on them for 2 things: decent pizza and at least one of those tabletop Miss Pac-Man or Galaga machines. You know what I mean? Not the stand-up arcades, but the one that's like a table. You know?
Yeah.
They all had those.
Oh, good to know. I'm not familiar, but it sounds cool.
Oh, no, they were great. They were like, instead of like the tall stand-up machines, it was like kind of a coffee table.
Like a bench. It's like a bench you sit on, and then the screen is inset into the table itself. So, yeah, that was the way to actually sit down and eat while you had the game in front of you.
Yeah, so like you could use it as a table while you were gaming. It was great. was so great.
Sounds pretty cool, actually.
It was great. It was so great. I played so many games of Miss Pac-Man at my local Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Strangely enough, like, it's kind of weird because I am very much post-arcades, and arcades weren't really super popular in this country in the first place. But I've still actually played on a few, actual arcades. A couple racing games, a lot of Time Splitters. Time Splitters is the big one I always liked.
Time Splitters, yes.
I always liked the light gun arcades. I always gravitated towards those a lot. And there are a couple arcade parlors still going around. They kind of turned into bowling alleys, but the arcade machines are still around.
Here in the States, more often than not, the arcades are very specialized now. Like a lot of them, they call them barcades, where it's a bar that happens to have a bunch of machines in it. And
again, here it's mostly stuff like bowling alleys, but it's the same principle.
Yeah, basically it is the adult arcade is what they're going for.
Because most kids just stay at home playing Fortnite, I guess.
Because consoles have overtaken that market for most kids. So you may have some games for kids within these barcades, but the majority of them are geared toward adults because they serve alcohol, so of course they're going to.
Yes.
I had pizza once in Itaewon-dong in Seoul, Korea, and it was like a cardboard picture of pizza. It was the worst pizza I've ever had. However, there is a little pizza parlor near us called Mama Nitty's, and if you ask her, she'll say, no, we are not related to the gangster Nitty, Frank Nitty, and no, we live 30 miles away from Chicago where they issue bulletproof vests where you move in there, but it has the best pizza in the world. And if you come stay, the first place I'll take you is for some real pizza.
We could have a whole pizza cast debating the different types of, because I'm not a fan of the Chicago deep dish personally.
Why not?
We have a pizza in Chicago, though. That's the thing.
Not deep dish. This guy does just like you see in the movies where they toss it up and twirl it.
Nice.
He actually makes his pizza like that.
Nice.
That's great.
He is an artist.
But it's still a thin
Mama
crust,
Nitty's
right?
son.
It's still a thin crust, right? Okay.
Still a thin crust,
Good.
and that's why he does it nice
How
and crispy.
How pizza should be, not a goddamn marinara waiting pool. Sorry.
Absolutely, and it's
this is a food podcast now, and you're gonna have to live with it, chat.
I'm getting hungrier.
God,
I just had dinner, so I'm not. I mean, sure, freaking. Hey, pizza is good. It's popular. It's the best thing to come out of Italy.
I love pizza.
Yeah.
Did anyone else want to vent about anything? We've gotten a few so far. Has anyone hasn't said anything that they want to say?
No, not to vent, really.
Okay, well, it's not just venting. You could, if you have something you want to talk about
your day.
Talk about what's going on. If you have something you want to talk about, go for it.
There's a game that released yesterday into early access, Lost Fleet. David and I played a bit of it yesterday.
Sorry, they need to change their name.
They do need to change the name.
Really
I do agree
need to change their name.
Absolutely.
This is genuinely like a freaking first person shooter, or how do I put this? This is on par with Lost Fleet is a hell of a book series to accidentally name yourself.
It's amazing. It's an amazing, folks. If you haven't read the Lost Fleet series, we've had the author on the show before.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a while ago we had the author on. He was great. I wouldn't mind having him back on if you wanted to, because he's still making these.
Yes,
books. He's still making these books. So I would not mind reaching out to him again.
Mr. Rubin, that is a hard yes.
If you've not read the Lost Fleet books, yeah, if you guys not read the Lost Fleet books, they have maybe some of the best depictions of space combat you will ever read.
It is so good.
So effing good. It's astounding. The space battles in that game are epic and monumental and glorious, and there's a reason they haven't made a game. I don't know if a game could be made that models space combat in the way, at least not
Nebulous
yet.
Fleet Command has tried.
But not with the whole fleet. Not with the whole fleet.
Not with a whole fleet, and they know they're not going to do that because trying to get a human to process like light delay is impossible.
Yeah, but can you imagine being on that bridge in a game and dealing with
Oh
that?
yeah, that
like,
would be brilliant. Also, like brilliantly enough, I like Lost Fleet is such a good series. And
it's so
so
good.
back to space, but this time it's space books. It also manages to not just be like gear pornography. It's not just all about shooting people. Like there's actually interesting character drama. The characters aren't morons. Like there's the you know it's science fiction because there's a bunch of meetings and the meetings actually do stuff. It's like if Honor Harrington wasn't boring.
Oh my god! And the meetings feel like actual legitimate meetings that people might have. Like they feel
Yes,
like
but once again, it's like Honor Harrington except not boring. I was told at some point, I haven't actually read the books, and at one point the author of Honor Harrington, the series, copy-pasted a chapter from one book to the next, and it took people a year to notice.
What?
Because apparently the books blur so much later on. Honor Harrington is apparently a great series to read the first book of.
Really?
That
Yep,
actually, by the way, that series actually did get an Android port. Yeah.
Wait, Honor Harrington?
Uh-huh.
As in the book?
Where you actually did control a ship that you had combat with just launching your missiles, and then whether or not you had to turn your ship, the timing of it to turn it so that your shields would actually block incoming missiles. That was a thing in that game.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know if the game actually went anywhere after that, though. I haven't played it in many years.
I don't know as well, but I do. Okay, so if we're on the topic of really good, like hard sci-fi, okay, am I allowed to talk about more stuff I like? Because I feel like I need to bring up the mood.
Go for it.
Do it.
So, moving away from the digital realm into tabletop RPGs, we have the best fleet operations RPG on the market by default. Lancer Battle Group has come out fully in the past couple weeks ago, and I've been playing it multiple times a week in a server. Why? Because it's really good.
What's the
It
game
is
called?
basic Lancer Battle Group.
Okay.
It is available on something called Roll App, but you get to buy the PDF. It's not tied to the actual service. It's a whole thing. I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was because they're really good. Lancer, not Roll App. Roll App is kind of mediocre, but it is a fundamentally an RPG about operating a fleet of warships, a fleet of very angry, very big, and very capable warships. Where super weapons from most sci-fi are what we call a primary delivery mechanism. It is immensely fun. It's kind of in this weird middle ground between an RPG and a war game, where you do have progression, you do have like character progression, but it's fairly simplified, and you're primarily focused on like session to session gameplay. Am I making sense to you people, or am I just rambling?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And one thing it actually solves the big issue that a lot of space RPGs have. When you're like playing, I don't know, Starfinder or Coriolis or something, or even Stars Without Numbers, you have the issue, you're 5 people on a boat, and each person operates different parts of the boat, which is cool and all, except inevitably some parts of the boat end up worse than others, and it just ends up being like a weird game of Manual Samuel where you have 5 people operating a single character, i.e. the ship, and it just ends up being kind of a mess. Battle Group solves that by just giving you a ship to each player. And by a ship, I mean multiple ships, which you get to design, put together, and give various modules and weapons on. You have a variety of options for customization. You get to make a battle group that can do a ton of damage without having to roll a single dice, which is very good if you have terrible dice luck like me. Because you could just throw missiles at people instead and just deal chunks of damage to the enemy, and there's nothing they can do about it. It is great. It is great, and I would dedicate an entire podcast to it. But I know I don't just want to talk 90 minutes about something that only I care about. And I know one person here who refuses to play RPGs on principle, and the rest of you don't play them because of reasons. But if anyone wants me to,
I do play RPGs.
No, I don't. I am out of the tabletop scene.
Yes, that's the whole thing.
And I just don't have the time myself.
Fair enough. Now, if you all ever want a one-shot of this, the theoretical minimum is like 3 people. I can absolutely run it. The fleet creation is relatively simple. I can even make some pre-mates and... Okay, that's for later. Point being, it's fun. And if you want to play it, yell at me and I'll get you a session operational in like 3 days. It's very simple.
Wow, side note, apparently Amazon Web Services are part of the problem that Twitch is having because...
Oh, lovely.
Apparently, Inquisitor is down right now because of problems with Amazon Web Services.
Well, that's just jolly.
So that's great.
Thanks,
usually they don't have
Bezos.
problems, but when they do, it causes issues for everyone that uses it.
Yes, because it's way overly centralized. Thank you, Mr. Bezos. Right.
Oh, man. So yeah, that looks fun. If they made a computer version of it, I'd probably play it like by myself.
Oh, certainly. But at that point, just play Homeworld. Just go play Homeworld.
Well, the game I was talking about earlier, Lost Fleet, is basically Homeworld as an arcade kind of experience where you're flying the ships.
Yeah, I need to check it out, and of course I need to tell the devs to change the bloody name.
Well, I am gonna at some point soon reach out to the developers. So,
you should.
After the post I just made about being confused with the book series on their Steam forum, I don't know if they'll reply to me.
Yeah, that's kind of that's the only thing I take umbrage with because
But,
again, Lost Fleet, great series of books.
Yeah, and I'm worried,
nothing to do with this game.
Right, and I'm worried that if the author finds out, he could he's had
it might change. It might force a name change legally. So it's probably better if they do it on their own before any sort of issues happen.
Because this is straight up just like Lost Fleet. It's the video game, which it isn't.
When I first saw that name on the Steam new game list, because I don't know about y'all, but I check the upcoming and new Steam game lists pretty obsessively. And
I check it every couple weeks, personally.
But I saw Lost Fleet, I'm like, oh my god, did they make a Lost Fleet game? And when I saw it, I was like,
nope.
Okay, this looks great, but not exactly.
It looks great, but it looks great, but it's completely unrelated.
Not exactly what I was thinking.
Yes, that's why I should change the name.
Yeah,
it is possible they don't know about.
It's quite possible they don't know, and there was no thread about it on their Steam forum. That's why I made one.
It is a generic title in the end. So if I don't know how you partake in sci-fi and are unaware of Lost Fleet, but sure, by sheer coincidence,
there are a lot of books out there.
Oh god, so many. I finally started reading the Aubrey Maturin books. I'm on the second one.
Oh, those are great.
Okay. They're written in such a way that I had to click with the way they're written. Because the language that O'Brien uses is very not contemporary. and so I had to force my brain to slow down and try and soak in everything. And I'm finally clicking with in the second book, I'm finally clicking with the hell? That's weird. I'm finally clicking with the writing, and geez Louise, it is so good. It is just very different. It is very, very different, but it is so good. It is so good. But yeah, there are a ton of books out there, and I'm not surprised that if they didn't know about the Lost Fleet series, even though it's been around for a while.
Well, the devs are also on the younger side. They're in college, or they started the Lost Fleet game in order to help them pay for college.
Oh, wow.
And then when the pandemic hit, they decided to just work on it full time. And here we are now. So it is possible that they missed it. They didn't know about it. and now they do, or have the opportunity to know and have the opportunity to change it before they leave early access. So I don't want to assume that they did it purposely.
No, I don't think I really don't think they did. I don't think they did. Oh, they don't have they do have an email address. Good. I got to email them.
I think I provided that to you in admin chat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
I see it on the Steam page here. Okay, great. I'll do that. Yeah, we'll have them on because this looks fun. So you've been playing that a bit.
Yeah, David and I played it yesterday. Played about an hour of it yesterday, and it was great. And it plays up to 6 people in co-op. Yes, that's a very interesting time.
Very interesting, which is a old reference if any of you would know that one.
I'm up for it once I get it because I haven't gotten it yet.
Well, let me contact the folks.
Right. I won't buy it then just in case, but
okay. It's up to you. So David and Thorsten, I don't think you guys is there anything you guys want to talk about?
Well, okay, then I start. Most of my problems have been solved.
Yay!
Don't know. I was a bit short on money the last 10 months because of a certain insurance that didn't pay me any money. But now it's pretty good again, and
yeah, lots of things were going on with you. Well,
yeah, I know. I mean, there were a lot of things happening.
Just watching the trailer.
Yeah, now I lost my what I wanted to say. Yeah, I mean, there was this problem with my net connections twice. Once it was my fault because I didn't pay, and then 2 weeks later, my provider decided to disconnect half the area I live in, which wasn't great either.
Jeez
Louise. But yeah, that nobody understands what happened. What happens there? That was just gross. Just gross. On the other hand, much of the stuff simply vanished over the past 2-3 weeks, and that's great. I'm binging a lot of stuff that I missed over the last 10 months. Sadly, I've heard that Final Space will be completely off.
Yeah.
That's something I'm not very fond of, especially how it comes to. But generally, life's good currently.
Oh, good.
I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, right. Knock on IKEA wood. Knock on all the woods.
Yes.
knock on all the wood that I'm surrounded by. All the wood.
So that's my mouse pad. There we go. That's on wood.
That's
on wood. That's not wood. My microphone is not wood. What the hell kind of microphone do you have?
No, mine isn't either. I don't know what this is. Probably some kind of metal and plastic. So, David, do you want to talk about anything?
It's your call if you do or don't.
Yeah.
It's really up to you.
You don't have to if you don't want to. No one's gonna, no one's gonna
be mad.
Yeah, be upset
I would like to say something positive.
Good. Okay.
Go ahead.
It's great to be here, you guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and this is a great crew. I could not be happier with this crew. Seriously, this is a fun, fairly diverse, interesting group of people that I'm very happy to have as my co-hosts. I think you all make the show better. And I thank you all for being here. You all said yes, and I'm shocked that we were able to find a time that worked for 6 of us.
Yes, I nearly didn't make it, but I managed it anyway.
I'm so glad. Because it's better when we're all here. Like, one of the reasons it's good to have a lot of people is because if one person has to miss, it's not the end of the world. I think if 2 or more people have to miss, then we usually postpone unless we have a guest,
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's always better when we're all here. So one thing I want to rave about. Oh, sorry. Did someone else want to say something?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right. So I finally got back into Cyberpunk 2077 yesterday after seeing those. What's that gun's name?
Well, Skippy.
Skippy.
Yes.
I saw Skippy. I'm like, I want to get to Skippy. So, but apparently you have to pass a certain story beat to be able to get to that part of town.
Well, it's Act 1. It's the starting area of the story.
It is, but you still have to pass the heist before you can actually.
And I'm not even.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not even. And I'm not even there
you're
yet.
Locked in.
Yeah, I'm not even there yet. It won't. I tried to drive there and it wouldn't let me.
Fair enough.
So
I already got there, and I actually snagged the gun. It's really fun. Smart weapons are really good in this game.
I do enjoy. I'm really excited about it. So I played a few hours the last day or two, and I gotta say, it was very bug free. It's very pretty. I was really amazed at the world they've built. Like, there are things in that game they didn't need to put there, like the tops of like I was taking an elevator in a building that had like 7 or 8 levels, and you see every level as you pass it, and you'll see stuff on the roofs of other levels as you pass them, and they didn't need to do all that. They didn't need to put all that stuff there, but because they did, it just added to the immersion for me.
Yeah, it is impressive, even if it still kind of feels like an Ubisoft game with aspirations, but the aspirations are what makes it fun.
And apparently they added dynamic events in a recent patch, and I ran into a few of them, like there's a dynamic event with the police. And
Yes, those were added in 1.5.
Yeah, so I ran into a couple of those, and those were a lot of fun.
Yes, and also nowadays everyone's coming back because the freaking show that came out that's apparently really good.
It is very good. I've watched it actually I'm on my 5th time through it at this point.
It is Studio Trigger. It was going to be great.
I was already expecting it to be good, and it did not disappoint for me. So
for Studio Trigger to mess something up, it would have no, that's not gonna happen.
It's a 10-episode anime. Happen. It is a 10-episode anime, and it has actually caused the player numbers for Cyberpunk to jump, and it is directly related to that. Yeah.
I wonder if it's
people who had dropped the game initially have come back to it, and without spoiling anything, a lot of them have played it to completion in order to kill a very specific character for a very specific reason. And I will say no more because that would be spoilery.
It's minus spoilers because admittedly he's a cunt that's introduced very early and you want to kill him after like the first 15 minutes of the game.
Well, let's just say you want to kill this character early in the game, but you want to kill him even more after seeing the show.
Now the sad part is the actual boss fight sucks ass. But still, it's more satisfying with the emotional context, yes. But it's still a really bad boss fight. I don't know, like... First Deus Ex, now this. What is it with like open world cyberpunk games and messing up boss fights? Okay, I know what it is. It's the fact that the game encourages a variety of playstyles and then goes, no, you have to do it the murder way. Enjoy the bullet sponge.
In this case, there is a story reason for why that particular character is beatable, because otherwise graveyards would be filled, including your own. But there is a story reason for why that happens that way.
Fair enough. I haven't gotten there yet, so
I can't say more without getting into the spoilers of it. That would not be fair for people who haven't played through it.
I just wanted to say it's kind of gotten under my skin. Like that, it's one of those games I've been thinking about when I'm not playing it, which is rare for me. Like lately, it's been Taxi Nut, but also now this. So good job on them for, even though they released it in a apparently terrible state.
How is Taxi Nut? I'm trying to get into it, but it feels a bit too esoteric for me.
I love it. I love it. I mean, it's a giant open world game where you're a space taxi driver. And
yeah, that is cool, but it's also like it feels very like Douglas Adamsy to me. Is it just me? Like,
I can see that.
I
can see that.
It feels like I'm playing a bit in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's how I feel.
I could see that, but that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing. It's just extremely esoteric.
I could see that. I could totally see that. It's got a kind of dry humor to it that that could be seen as very British. So I could totally see that. But I absolutely love it. I mean, just flying around, getting fares and taking transports to other systems and getting a home. Yeah. It's just,
now the issue is it's a lot of mechanics that I can't figure out for some reason, but also I'm kind of slow sometimes.
Well, he added an option recently to make the starting planet a little more forgiving. Because
well, being forgiving is not the issue. Knowing where the hell I'm supposed to go is the issue.
Oh yeah. Well, usually there'll be it depends on what you're doing. Like if you have a fare, usually you can click on set destination. It'll tell you. They'll tell you. And if they don't, then you get paid extra for being smart and finding it and whatnot. Yeah. I can kind of see that. But I'm sure throughout the early access is going to make the game more approachable. Like,
all right, it is early access.
Yeah, but I absolutely love Taxinaut. I'm playing it on both my computers. Like I turned my PC off in the afternoon because I don't want to overuse it and I don't want to keep working. And then I go to my gaming laptop and play it on that.
Lovely stuff.
It's great.
Actually, if I'm allowed to continue interjecting, if we're talking about like indie games that came out recently that we like, the game Trappist that was showed off here recently. Have you played that?
No, I've not played it yet.
That's kind of a shame. It's okay. I personally really like it. It feels like a simplified, it's a very much a simplified like base builder / Anno style city and resource management game. Now it is simplistic, and it's thankfully simplistic because it suffers from a lack of automation that would kill a more complex game of this style. And that is also arguably one of the things that it's missing, but it is very fun in terms of like being able to switch perspectives and like manage multiple things at once, and also setting up, supply chains, flying around with the transport shuttles to get things where they should be. It's very interesting. It's very fun. It's called Trappist. Someone in the Discord server link it somewhere in public so chat can see it.
Oh, yeah, and the dev is joined us.
Yeah, the dev joined the server as well.
Wrong button, sorry.
Yeah,
the dev is here.
The dev's here.
So yeah, no, it looks great. I just, I just don't. Like, yesterday my gaming time was split between grinding Yakuza and doing some Cyberpunk. Because I had to...
Grinding Yakuza? All right.
Because I had to get my charisma all the way up, and that was tricky. That was very tricky. It was a multi-step process.
Turns out being charismatic is difficult.
Well, okay, so basically, I took all the so there are many ways you can upgrade itchy stats in Yakuza, and the best one is to take all the tests at the whatever they call learning center. And I had maxed pretty much everything out except charisma. And you can get a book to boost up your charisma, but you have to do the Can Quest game, which is kind of like a Pac-Man style game, and you have to get 80,000 points in that game to buy the book. So,
because it's Yakuza. Nothing is ever simple.
Nothing makes sense.
Well, that's one way. Yeah, of course.
So,
but
go on. So I did that, and I bought the book, and it still didn't max me out. Hey, Excelsior. Oof. And so I was like, I feel really crushed. I just spent like 2 hours, 3 hours grinding these cans, and it didn't do the trick. But Spaz found another way where you find these hidden people hiding in alleys and stuff. And if you pay them money, they can boost your stats. So,
it's the honk.
Whatever the hell that is.
Spreader out. Yes. And yeah, as Brian said, they boost your stats. That was the fastest way I could think of beyond doing the Can Quest. But with the Can Quest, the thing you're supposed to do is to get a score of closer to 800 or 900 before you actually reach the goal. But what Brian was doing was getting about 600 before going back. So even though he would go back with about between 30 seconds to a minute left on the clock, he could have gone a little bit further and pushed it. But I understand why he was trying to get back in time.
I also didn't want to risk bumping into one of those other jerks and losing a bunch of my cans or running into the garbage truck, you know? So I'm like, once I've reached a certain point, I'm heading back, you know? I'm gonna turn this in. But that's what I did. That's why I haven't played much else, because I was grinding out, because I've been playing Taxi Knot, and yesterday I was playing a bunch of Cyberpunk, which I will also play today.
I dove back into Cyberpunk as well, because I've got close to 240 hours, but I'm still in the mood for more of it.
That sounds good.
And they just announced an expansion for it, right?
Oh, they actually have one. They've only made one because of general lack of interest, and I guess they've changed that because now there is more interest.
Yeah, there is the expansion coming next year, and apparently that's going to be PC and next-gen consoles only. It's not going to be on the PS4 or the Xbox One. And the reason they said it is just because technical limitations, it's just not going to be possible. So this update that has just been recently released, 1.6, will be the last update that goes to the PS4 and Xbox One for content updates. And anything else going forward is going to be on the PS5, Xbox.
Got it. So they're doing the thing they should have done and given up on last-gen consoles.
Right. They should have done that to begin with, because the way that it released on PS4 and Xbox One, just performance issues was just
not
terrible.
worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The PC release was it was playable on PC. It genuinely wasn't on all gen consoles.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate, because I think they committed to doing the PS4 release. And part of the reason why the executives pushed for the PS4 release is because they had so many tie-ins. They thought, I'm sure, okay, we release on PS4, and then when the PS5 comes out, we can get people to get it on PS5 too. And then,
no.
Yikes.
Yeah, what they should have done, according to what some of the reading up I've done on this, is that what they should have done is push the release all the way back to April of 2022 for the actual release, and then things would have gone a lot better in terms of everything they needed to have in the game at that point. The reception would have been better. They could have taken advantage of the PS5 already being out, and I think
could have, would have, should have.
The executives made a bad call by trying to force it out early. The devs would not have wanted that.
Yes.
It's always the suits. It's always the goddamn suits. Every bloody time.
In marketing too.
Sometimes.
You know, there was a tie-in with Rockstar for Samurai Cola. They had a Samurai Cola limited edition a tie-in for their Samurai Cola energy drink that they released. I actually got a 12-pack of that, and it came with a code where you could redeem it for stuff.
Oh god, how was the drink?
Actually, it was decent. So,
okay.
Was it like the freaking Halo Mountain Dew thing? Is that the same category?
Same sort of category marketing, but it was actually a decent flavor. So.
So it wasn't Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Mountain Dew.
It's okay.
I love love Taco Bell. I'm going to admit that flat off the bat. And they have a Mountain Dew Baja Blast there that I just absolutely adore. I love
A what blast?
Baja, like Baja, California. Baja, BAGA. No.
Oh,
J,
I see.
J, BAJA. What am I saying? BAJA. Baja.
It's
I know my
Got it.
my East Coast comes out every now and again. Baja Blast.
you're attempting to do Spanish as a Californian. Yeah, that's not gonna go well.
But I'm not even a Californian. I'm originally a Philadelphian, so it's even worse.
I was gonna say I
here, so yeah.
I don't think that's better.
No,
Amazing.
it's not. It's not. We've gone over an hour. We should probably start wrapping this up. Friends, thank you for hanging us with today. I hope you're all well. Good chat today. Looks like you're all doing pretty well. Didn't see anyone venting much. We talked about Final Space a bit, which is sad. That's just a casualty of the Warner Discovery merger. So many things.
We kept talking and nobody exploded, so there is that.
Yeah. But thank you so much for hanging out with us, for listening. Next week on the show, we're going to talk about our favorite spaceship designs in science fiction.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I also thought of an idea for a show that kind of bridges off that. You know, have you ever had those geeky conversations where you're like, "Who do you think would win, the Battlestar Galactica or the Enterprise?" I hate
those. I hate those so much.
Those? Okay, I thought it'd be fun.
I've heard them too much.
I explore those topics occasionally, but I don't like delving into them myself.
Okay, we won't do that then. I just thought it might be a fun thing. But if you guys legitimately hate them, then we won't do it.
They're fun for a bit, and then you just eventually boil down into the power levels in each setting are completely off, and also things are really busted because the power levels change like every other episode. So any consistent result is.
Yeah, that's fair. They all have plot armor and everything.
Can the Battlestar Galactica defeat the Starship Enterprise? You mean in which episode? In the episode where the Galactica took a nuke to the face, or the episode where the Enterprise was said to like be able to carve out its name in the moon or something? Like, and then not be able to like.
Or the Enterprise with a phase cloak, because that could be a thing.
Yeah,
yes,
why not?
because again, unless you are like going to like levels of hard sci-fi of The Expanse, you generally will end up struggling with consistent power levels. That's we all watch Dragon Ball Z. We all know the famous words of Vegeta himself. Power levels are bullshit.
Those discussions are pretty much nonsense anyway. The culture would win anyway.
Yeah. So my take on that is I am overpower. I have overpower levels entirely. Nope. Just nope.
Fair. We won't do that then. I just thought it might be a fun idea. So that's going to do it, folks. Have a great day. Be safe, be well. Please take care of each other. Please get vaccinated if you haven't already. And oh god, what are we playing tomorrow? I don't even remember.
I actually got vaccinated recently. I got my another booster shot.
Good.
I got booster shot number 4 as of 2 days ago.
Nice.
Okay, apparently
I am
good.
Practicing what I preach, as they say.
Good. So apparently tomorrow we're going to be playing a game called Cosmic Invasion. Sure, I have no idea what that is. But we'll see you for that tomorrow, folks.